The wait is over.
Want to see something cool?
You ready?
Right behind you.
It's the single greatest superhero movie ever made.
Time to take the gloves off.
I could do this all day.
Hey YouTubers, it's Charlie. So some new badass Black Panther footage, Captain America Civil War dropping this week. If you haven't seen it yet, make sure you tell them to shut up and take my money. Chadwick Boseman as T'Chaka is going to be one of the most awesome things ever. No spoilers for the movie. If you have seen it, please don't post spoilers in the comments. But the interesting thing with his character, like the interesting challenge that they had, is that they didn't want him to be this caricature because his name is Black Panther. So there were just like a million ways that this could have gone wrong and only a couple ways that could have gone right. And they've completely nailed the character thus far. And the really interesting thing that Marvel does with its movies that you don't really get to do with a lot of other movies is that while they were working on Civil War stuff, they were also developing the Black Panther movie, so the director of the Black Panther movie was able to inform his performance, the Black Panther performance, during Civil War. Like the Russos brought in the director of Black Panther to help them with their Black Panther scenes in Civil War, just to make sure that there was consistency in the character between this movie and the Black Panther movie. And yeah, they're introducing him to the universe in this movie, so it's a really big deal. But I think just for this character, the Black Panther movie is way more important. So of course, if you're using that character in someone else's movie, you want the person that's like really writing the definitive take on the character to be involved. So you just really don't get that opportunity with a lot of other movies. Like sometimes they'll hire other directors to consult, like Steven Spielberg came on to consult during the Star Wars prequels a little bit, but it's not really the same thing as Marvel making its movies. It's a completely new situation and totally fascinating. Even just looking at the trailer footage, you get this real sense that he has this regal bearing. It just commands your respect. He's every bit the equal of the Winter Soldier and Captain America, regardless of where their powers flow from. They just do a really good job of balancing this. Like, it could go one of two ways. Really, when you talk about a fight like Winter Soldier versus Black Panther, the person who wins is just going to be the person who wants it more, because just taking as they're presented in this movie, they're equal fighters. So really, the only way to let one beat the other is to put one at a disadvantage, and I think that's what the movie does at certain points. But that's kind of an issue with the other characters too, like Captain America versus Iron Man. Like, how do you let them face off without making one look like a complete idiot? So mass respect to the Russos for being able to pull this off in a believable way. I can't really talk about it without getting into spoilers, but they've been talking a little bit about the next Iron Man film. Robert Downey Jr. has just been like, hey, maybe I got one more movie in me, just like winking at us from behind all of his cameras, like, yeah, I could totally stick around to do another movie. The rumor is that Spider-Man is largely going to influence the direction that movie is going to take, but they haven't really said anything official yet. Marvel itself hasn't said, yeah, we're totally going to be doing a new Iron Man film. I think everybody behind the scenes is just kind of testing audience reaction, like, would they like the idea of a new Iron Man film? The answer, of course, is a resounding yes. Like, please give us another Iron Man film. If you've seen the movie, then you probably totally understand what they mean when they say Spider-Man's relationship with Iron Man could totally inspire this new Iron Man film. But we can get into specifics when I start doing spoilery Civil War videos. I'm not going to be posting my first review. That'll be like a non-spoilery one till Thursday. I'll start posting Easter eggs on Friday. I would say by Thursday, most of you, like at least 50% of the people in the world that are going to see the movie will probably have seen it. I know there's a lot of confusion about why movies come out earlier some places than other places. The reason that a lot of big movies get released internationally before they get released in the US nowadays is because, one, it helps curb international piracy. That's always been a big problem for studios, where it's like, people outside the United States are like, hey, we want to see this really awesome movie, but you're not going to release it in our country, so we're going to pirate it, so screw you guys. So it's an answer to that. And two, the second big reason is that the international markets are now much more important to the financial success of big movies than ever before. Like, the international box office for a lot of these big movies is sometimes 60% of the total revenue for a movie. So even though people still talk about box office, really the international box office is a more important number than the domestic box office. And I'm just talking about films that are largely thought of as American films. So if you haven't seen it already, or if you have seen it and you want to see it again, everybody just be sure to go see it this week, because we will be talking a whole lot about it. Just to celebrate, I'm doing an IMAX ticket giveaway. All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber and leave a comment on this video. It's a gift certificate for the value of 2 IMAX tickets. So I'll just leave the giveaway open through all my Marvel videos this week. So I'll remind people that there is a ticket giveaway going on the next time I post a Marvel video. If you're a big Game of Thrones fan, we'll be talking about a few things specifically this week. There are just like a couple really big things that we're all going to be talking about this week. So if you're not up on Game of Thrones, now's the time to catch up. If you guys haven't seen it yet, you can click here for last night's episode of Game of Thrones. big, amazing, wonderful things happen. And you can click here for my Spider-Man Civil War video. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Let's high five. I'll see you guys tonight.